everybody. I'm so happy to be here. I'm not by myself this time. I actually have a friend with me. I don't know if you can see. Here, we'll see. There we go. So we have Jake here tonight, and I'm going to do a little chat about animal communication because when I'm doing my mediumship readings, what's happening more and more every time is that your animals, your pets and spirit who have crossed over to the other side are actually showing up a lot more now. And I would love to tell you some amazing stories about these animals. And what I'm going to do is I have a Q&A. So what I did is I put out on Instagram and my Facebook, and I asked if you have any questions about animal communication or how, give me some questions about your pets. And so that's what we're going to do. So there's some about those who have passed over, and there's some about how to communicate with animals. So the first thing I'm going to mention to you is that, first thing I want to say is that a soul, this is Jake, by the way. I don't know if I said that. This is Jake. And we're feeding him treats so that he will behave himself. This is usually the time he gets tired, time to go to sleep. So what I want to start by saying is that a soul is a soul is a soul. So every living creature has a soul, right? So when you go to a medium, what the medium is doing is they are actually connecting with the soul, the light body. There's your angle, there's your shot. That's awesome. You're connecting with their soul, right? So animals obviously have souls because, as you know, they have personalities, right? So this dog, I would try to describe his personality as a toddler right now because he actually is a toddler in the toddler age. So some dogs have personalities that they're very rambunctious and high energy and they want to be around you all the time. There's some dogs that are very demanding that, they want to go in the car, they have their own way of doing things. And Jake is, I would describe him as a toddler. He's a good boy and he loves his treats, obviously. But yeah. Okay, so let's start with questions. So the first question that I got was, does my dog know when he has a seizure? So the answer is yes. Okay. So when I communicate with animals, what I'm doing is I'm telepathically, like with the souls of the loved ones in spirit who have passed over, I'm telepathically communicating. So you hear it in your head. You know what telepathic energy is, right? So you can hear a voice in your head that belongs to someone else and you're receiving that voice in your head. So for me, that's called clairaudience, and I can hear the voice in my head. So I'm able to telepathically communicate with souls, including pets. So the question was, does my dog know when he has a seizure? And the answer is yes, because dogs are very smart. Animals are very smart. They have their own consciousness. They have their own unique way of doing. They know way more than you think you do. And this was revealed to me when I was doing readings and the animals were coming through. So sometimes I find out that the animals talk more or they give me more evidence than a human will. So when the dog, you ask, does the dog have a seizure? And they know when they go to the vet, they know that they're not feeling well. They'll try to communicate that with you either by lying down, and you're able to pick up that as well from the dog by being very in tune with the dog's energy. And, if you think you hear your dog saying something, that's real. Like if you hear a voice in your head, you're like, what are you thinking? And you hear something back in your head, that's actually your dog communicating with you. Okay. Whether they passed over or not, they are actually able to do this as well. Okay. So yes, they know when they go to the vet. So they've told me, even when they're living and passed over, that they know they have to go to the vet. They know when something's wrong with them. And we wish dogs could talk, right? And then you'd be like, well, can you just tell me what's going on? So we have to guess and use our telepathy skills here. So the next question was, can you tell if my cat is having trouble breathing? She seems to struggle. So yes. So a lot of this isn't just a psychic or a medium who's able to do this. You're able to also do this yourself because you all have intuition and you're all able to trust the feelings that you get, which is a psychic ability. A feeling is an intuitive feeling. So it's clairsentient. So I feel like or have a sense that my animal is having an issue. And so if you feel in your knowing that you feel like something's going on with your animal, partly that is them trying to communicate with you. And also part of that is your intuition. So the main thing here is you got to trust, you need to trust yourself and you need to trust your feelings, your gut feelings. That's intuition. That's a psychic ability, right? Some people don't maybe like to call it that, or maybe they don't know that's what it's called, but you're able to do that. So if you think something's up, something's up. Okay. So there's that. A third question is, do they understand when we talk to them? Yes. Dogs understand everything you say. So let me get an example of a reading that I've done where a dog in spirit had come through and tells me very specific details about the kind of car that they would go in when they would go for a drive somewhere. Okay. Um, they tell me that you have a caller of theirs. So if they're able to tell me that when they're passed over, when they've gone the other realm, they can understand you now because they understand everything. So if you say right now, hey, Jake, we're going to the vet, he'll probably like that. But you know what I mean? Some dogs are like, ooh, I don't want to go. And they know when you're saying, let's go to the vet. They have emotions like us. Like people might not agree with this, but from my experiences with talking to spirit of dogs and cats who have passed over, mostly dogs, is that they know everything. They know everything. Okay. And sometimes the dogs will actually tell me more telepathically than the human tells me. So they're very, very, and they don't have that filter or that block of, not believing in things. The dogs are very open. They're not, they don't have that, oh, this isn't real kind of thing like humans do, right? So it's so they do, yes, they do understand. Yes, they do understand. Okay. Can you tell if my soul cat is still here? So when an animal passes over, when a pet passes over, and they're either cremated or they're, however they pass, they know, and they know how they pass too. They know if you're there when they pass over. Let's say you have to put the animal down. They know that you're with them. They know they can describe the color of the blanket that is surrounding them. They know if you're holding their hand. They're so, the word that I'm hearing is tender. They just know. They're just so in tune with everything. And I feel like part of my job is to try to explain that. So you go, oh, wait a minute, my dog, maybe I shouldn't call my dog a jerk or something worse because they actually know that you're calling them that, right? So yeah, see, you want that? Yes, you do. Yeah. So yeah, so the cat does know that um, it is passed over, and the cat actually sometimes shows up and will hang out, just like a human soul that has passed over will be around you often, and they just want you to know that they're around you and that they love you, right? That's all they want you to know. The souls just really want you to know all of that. Okay. So yes, the soul cat is still around you. Yes. I have a client who says that they can feel their dog who has passed over on their bed. So they want to comfort you, right? They want you to know that their presence is there. So the fifth question is, how does someone communicate with our own animals living or past? So I briefly touched on that, where you can telepathically communicate with your pet. Um, so for example, when they're alive, you can tune into their energy. You can be like, I have a feeling that my dog is kind of saying this, and I will make jokes about, like, my dog Jake will kind of look at me and I'd be like, oh, you want this? Oh, you want that? And it's like, it's kind of cool the way he communicates. Um, so you would have to practice it. It would be a practice. It would be like, if you're also very skeptical, you're probably not going to believe anything I'm saying right now. But if you are, meditating and you want to understand more and you want to get more in tune with the animal's energy, it helps a lot to meditate, because when you're noisy and doing all the things, you can't really understand what the animal is saying. You don't have time for that. You're like, I'm too busy to talk to you. But I'm just gonna keep stressing to you that they communicate telepathically and that you have to practice it. Yeah, you have to practice. You know, you have to practice this. It's very a fine tuning into the animal's energy, because dogs have energy. Like right now, he's like, dude, I'm really tired. Can we go to bed? Like, when's it bedtime? Like, he knows when it's time for nap time. He knows when it's like time for dinner. He tells me when he doesn't like his food. So it's kind of handy to have this gift, but you guys all have the gift. It's just a matter of tuning into this. Okay. So yeah, like anything, you can be a medium or psychic. You just have to work at it and you have to really want it. So, um, so another question was, our dog passed away suddenly. What happened to her? So what happens when an animal transitions is also what happens when a human transitions. And the amazing part of that is that a lot of the time the human soul will come through in a reading but bring the dog with them. So when your animal passes, your animal actually is taken care of by a loved one in spirit, And then when you have a reading with someone, like a medium or psychic like me, they're able to bring that animal in and tell you who is taking care of your pet, right? Yeah. And I want to let you know too, I feel like I need to tell you that your animal, if you have recently lost a dog or, at any time you've lost the dog is okay. I promise the dog is okay. The dog is happy, running around, playing just like it would here. It retains the dog and the cat retain all their memories. I would say mostly dogs more. I have more experience reading for dogs. However, I have done a reading once where this woman only wanted to talk to her cat. So I am able to do that as well. A lot of people don't know that I can actually communicate with animals who have crossed over and who are currently here. But that's something that I am able to do. And there we go. See that? Yeah. Seriously, that's when he's like, I'm tired. It's time for bed, man. When are we going to bed? So the dogs are okay. They transition. Oh, he's had enough of his camera shot. He's like, I'm out of here. He wants to go lie down. See? I just want to stress to you that dogs know more than you think they do. They're highly intelligent. They have a consciousness. They're here. They're full of unconditional love. Like there's no judgment coming from a dog, right? And this continues on in the afterlife. And they always meet their loved ones in spirits. You can communicate on your own with them. You can invite them to come in if they've crossed over and be like, I really miss my dog. Come and give me a sign that you're around me. And some of the dogs, you'll feel their energy either physically or you'll just have a sense that they're there, and to trust that. They know you have their collar. You've kept something of them. They know you have a paw print of them. They know you have a picture of them on the mantle beside their urn. They're loving you from spirit. They're around you all the time. And love really hard your current pets because they are very smart, and Jake's like, where's my treat? I'm going to leave you guys with that. Thank you so much for another great show. I thought you guys might want to meet Jake and have an energy of an animal come through and talk about that kind of stuff. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I can't wait for next week, and I'll talk to you guys all later. See you later.